Good morning, how are we all? My name's Christine and this is the Yarn About Yarn YouTube channel. I'm known as Yarn About Yarn pretty much everywhere on the internet, Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook. So I mostly chat about my knitting, and the last few videos have been about the 2024 Stephen West MCAL Go Go Dynamo. I've got the door open. It's meant to be about 30 degrees Celsius here today, so if it gets too noisy I'll have to shut it. But yeah, I'm on the east coast of Australia, far north coast New South Wales. So let's get started. How are you going with clue 3? Clue 4 drops tomorrow, and I haven't finished clue 3, but I'm on track to get it done. So I just thought I'd pop in and show you where I'm up to. And it's great because now we can actually see what we've been doing. There's less stitches actually on the needle, so we can spread it out. So it's just looking absolutely beautiful. And I'm thinking, because we've got this I-cord edge going in this direction, I think we're going to add on to our actual cast on for clue 4. I think clue 3 is making a really nice border. So clue 1, you might recall we started with the little semicircles, the little mini scarves, and then connected them. Clue 2, we also did a bubble row. Clue 2 continued with some bubbles and some brioche. I was listening to Martin of the Knit 365 blog yesterday, and he was saying how he unpicked one of his bubble rows because they weren't lining up with the previous one. And I noticed after someone else had said that, mine weren't either, but I thought, in the scheme of things, I'm not going to go and unpick them and try and work out why they weren't lining up. But there is an error that I have made in this last clue, and by the time I discovered it, I was not going to go back and fix it. I just sort of fudged something. So see if you can spot it. So you can see this is how much I've got to go, and since I made that error, I have now put some stitch markers in. So I don't have too many repeats to go before it's finished. Did you see what I did wrong? Yep. Let me see if I can find it. Right there. I did 4 of the short row wedges instead of 3. And I'd already undone some of the short rows and did them because I was just messing it up. It took me quite a while to get my head around what I was doing. So what I did, because I had the 4 short rows there instead of 3, by the time I realized it, I was here. So I just did 2 wedges. I think if it had been in the black, which was the actual final edge, it might have been more obvious. But I think because the black ones are okay and they're all the same size, it's going to be fine. I can live with it. So I'll get the rest of this done today. And I've only got a few edges on the side that I might get those woven in if I've got time. And yeah, I'll be ready for clue 4. So my yarn, last time you might recall I was a bit concerned because I thought I might run out of my main colour, which is this Big and Design, which is 25 gram balls. I had 4 of those, although they're a little bit plump, so they're 180 meters or 196 yards per 50 grams. And I'd actually used more than 2 of them when I got to the end of clue 2 last week, but I've still got this one for next week, and I've got this much left of the 3rd one, so I think I should be okay. My other colour, the purple colour, is this one. It's a Utopia Kickapoo, and it was a giant skein of 250 grams that I'd had in my stash for such a long time, and this is how we're going. That's what I've got left of that. So, you know, that's a good 100 grams or so left on there. 150 grams, so plenty. And the mohair that I'm using is a Cartier Concept, the 50 mohair shades, and that's colour 37, which I think is lilac. And I do have two of them, so I held those together when we had the mohair dare in the brioche. So I've plenty of mohair left for what comes up next week. So yeah, it's very long, longer than my wingspan. So it'll be interesting to see where we go with this tomorrow night when the clue drops here. So I haven't really been knitting on much else. I've been doing a little bit on a another Lycoris top, which I'll show you when this is finished. I haven't done too much at all. The other thing I've done this week, which is really exciting, is I've opened a shop on the platform MadeIt. MadeIt is an Australian collective of artisans, I guess, handmade. It's curated, so it's not like Etsy or eBay where anyone can just open a store. You have to actually apply, and I didn't get in the first time because of my photography was somewhat lacking, but I got in. I got accepted last week when I resubmitted, so I've been listing my shawls. I think they're talking about doing international shipping, but I'm pretty sure at this stage it's only Australian shipping only. So I've been trying to do a few more summery type shawls, more for like just a decorative thing to add a bit of colour to your outfit, or, you know, when it's a bit cooler in the evening. So this is the one I added to the shop yesterday, which is a beautiful soft, it's a cotton blend, and it's got this really interesting weave pattern, and it's got these open, fairly open sections through it. So it's not, you know, an overly warm winter shawl, but it will just add that, just that little bit of, you know, imagine if you've got a plain white or cream linen outfit and you just pop this on for a bit of colour. Gets a bit cooler in the evening, so you can bring it around your shoulders. So yeah, that one was added yesterday. And then what I'm trying to do is keep my stock of the MadeIt store and my market stock separate, because I'd hate to be at a market and sell something and then someone else tries to buy it online. So I'm having separate stock. So I've got one more to add to the shop today, and then it's just going to have to wait until, you know, I get some more things woven. So the one going on today looks a bit more wintry, but it's a nice light soft shawl with a lot of texture, which I love. This one was actually woven on my rigid heddle loom. Absolutely beautiful texture. So yeah, I'll get that one added up onto the site today. So if you want to see what I'm adding, have a look at my Instagram. I'm there as Yarn About Yarn. Once the MCAL finishes, like my Instagram feed, my personal feed has been full of weaving at the, well, not full, but it's mostly weaving at the moment because I've only been knitting on the MCAL. Once the MCAL's over, there will be some more knitting content added to that. So you don't have to worry that my Instagram's gone full on weaving. It's going to be a balance of two, which is difficult because some people find me through the weaving and then I start posting knitting and those followers drop off and vice versa. But that's what I do. I knit and I weave, and a few other things in between. So yeah, so I'll add that one to the store today. But other than that and MCAL knitting, not much else is happening in the crafting front. I've been looking at another loom. Don't know where I'm going to put it. As you can see, my room is quite full. I've got cubbies here, I've got a tall boy here, what you can't see are tubs full of my weaving, my stash. I've got 2 looms there, tables, sewing machines, so there is not a lot of room. The beauty with the Sari looms is I've got them both out today, but they can be folded up. But yeah, so I think that's all. I'm just starting to waffle. Very short episode. Yeah, I've opened my MadeIt store. I started listing my weaving and making really good progress on the MCAL. I'm actually really liking this. I think it's a combination of the colours that I'm using. I think that's going to be really wearable in my wardrobe. I love the shape. I love a long, more scarfy sort of shawl, but who knows where that's going to end up after next week. I honestly think that's an I-cord edge, the top of it there, and the same there. I really think we're going to pick up along this edge and come up. But just to finish off that edge, that was one reason why I left the cast on yarns. I didn't weave them in because I didn't want to add too much bulk along that edge. I thought from the start we'd come back. It just looked too unfinished for Stephen West. Like he loves an I-cord edge. You know, we've got I-cord all along the bottom here. We've got I-cord along both sides. I really think we're going to be doing something along that top edge. Yeah, maybe something, because we have got these curved shapes here and we've got curves here. This is sort of more linear with the brioche. I wonder if we're going to finish with some brioche and bubbles. Or finish with something linear. I don't know. Is it Art Deco? Is that the vibe? Have I got the right? I don't even know what the word is I'm looking for now. But you know, that right time period. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see where we go tomorrow evening. So yeah, I'll have a chat to you probably in about a week's time, depending how I go with this. If I'm close to finishing in a week, I might wait till I've actually finished it and blocked it. Or I might come back in the meantime and have a chat about how it's going and what I'm thinking about it. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's about it. I have noticed I've had quite a few new subscribers since I started doing this little MCAL series. So I hope you stick around past the MCAL. The format of the videos, like I follow a usual knitting podcast type of format, you know, I'm wearing a ranunculus, what I'm wearing, what I finished, what I'm working on, that type of thing. What you can see in my cubbies here is my whips. So I do have a lot of whips and I'm planning on going through those with you and sort of concentrating on 1 or 2 at a time to get them finished. What would really be great is if I get all my whips down, get rid of these cubbies and get some more space in this room, but I doubt that's going to happen. The other thing I was thinking of doing is I've got a lot of old stash, like the stash I'm using in my Go-Go Dynamo. And I thought what would really be good is if I grab something out of the stash and maybe, you know, you could sort of help with what I could make from it, give some suggestions. And then, you know, I could blog a bit about going through with that project. Or otherwise, if it's stash that I don't think I'm going to use either for a knitting project or a weaving project, it might be up for grabs for a de-stash. But I'd really like to curate my stash a bit better, get my whips down. Sound like every knitter out there, I know. But yeah, that's the usual format that I follow, and what you've been seeing the last couple of weeks is what you get. I don't edit very much. It's pretty much unscripted. I might sort of come on with a bit of an idea. Like lately, I know I'm coming on to chat about the latest MCAL clue. So I have a bit of an idea about what I might want to talk to you about, but other than that, it is not scripted at all, and it's unedited. It's just basically off the cuff. So if that's what you're looking for and you've enjoyed what I've been showing you so far, maybe if you could subscribe, that would be great. Please leave a comment. Let me know how you're going with the MCAL, where you think it's going for the final clue. Do you think we're going to come back to that cast on edge? I just can't see him, spoiling's not the right word, but I can't see him spoiling that beautiful scallop edge that we've got now from clue 3. I didn't really enjoy knitting it. I think because with the black yarn, I was only knitting a bit during the day, and then because I had other things going on during the day, it wasn't sort of consistent knitting, and I kept I wasn't getting into a rhythm with it. But now I'm knitting it at night, and I've got into the flow of what we're doing, and I'm finding it a lot easier because I was unpicking a lot at the beginning. I'd take 2 steps forward and 1 back and wasn't getting very far. And I realized it was because I wasn't consistently knitting on it. So now I am, and it is becoming easier and quicker, except for that mistake where I put in the 4 of the short row wedges, but that's okay. So yeah, I've lost my train of thought, but let me know where you're going, where you think we're going with clue 4, and I'll have a chat to you next week. Okay, take care everyone. Bye.